Hello everyone. So I just want to show you the very quick demonstration of how to drafting. So first thing first, you need the following things. We need a pencil, we need an eraser, which I don't have it here, but then that's what you already have. This is called the steel ruler. So this one is firm, and then this one is easy to use it to cut the tracing paper. So this is tracing paper, which is transparent, as you can see. So the thing about the tracing paper is that if you put anything down, so it's like, let's suppose this is your finished drawings, and then you want to build on top of it, you can put a tracing paper on top, and then you can still see through. And then so that's how you get your design, thinking development going on. All right, so this is the tracing paper. And then to use the steel ruler, sometimes we use the steel ruler to cut the tracing paper. And then how we do it is you put a steel ruler on top of it, on top of the tracing paper, and it's very estimate, all right? So you put it here and then press it down, and see, you can just cut your tracing paper like this. Right, quick and sharp, right? And then, so there's a little bit, and then in the end, you can just tear that part off. All right, so now we have a tracing paper, we have a T-square, so this one is called a T-square. Some of the T-square doesn't have the marks on it, like the ruler. Some of the T-square does, but then anyone will do, all right? So this is a T-square. So in terms of how to drafting, you need to put your T-square next to the edge of the table. And as you can see, if you move along here, you will draw consistent parallel lines, and you won't be afraid of, drawing a tilting line. So you will always have parallel lines. Okay, and then you will have your engineering scale bars, which is by the scale of, the 10s, 50s, 20s, 40s, 30s, and 60s. And then that's your scale, engineering scale bar. You also have your architectural scale bar, which is a relatively small scale. So 16 is its largest, I think. And then it also have, a 1/4 inch or eighth of the scale. All right. So when you're drafting, you have all of those tools ready. And the thing is, first, what you need to do is to put your piece of paper that you are working on next to, more close to the edge of the table, because you want to make sure your T-square can always reach it. So put your T-square here. So this is the frame that you can draw, right? So I would say put your paper somewhat, parallel to the table, and within the reach of your T-square. So that's where you put your paper down, and then here is when you get this masking tape, and then you start to tape in all of your the tracing paper's corner. And then by taping it down, you don't do this, but instead you actually cover the corner like this, so that it won't be movable. All right, so this is our one side, and then we'll do all of the 4 corners. And then the masking tape is not that sticky, so later on when you take your paper out of the table, you have a complete, paper that won't be messed up by the tape. All right, so now see, once you put this down, this paper is not movable anymore. So it is stick on your table, and then even if you move along, the table won't get moved along. So that's how the first step you do drafting. And now, once you put your T-square here, you can actually draw a series of parallel lines now, right? All of the parallel lines that you are drawing, see, you just move it along, and then all your lines will be automatically parallel to each other because you are not changing the position here. And how to draw the vertical lines is to use your triangles, right? So some of you have the 45 triangle, some of you have the 30 and 60 triangle. Anyway, you will be able to draw the vertical lines by putting these two together, right? So put your triangle just very close, you know, align with one of the edge of it, and then you start to draw this vertical lines. So see. And then I also want to emphasize that when you start to draft, the very first lines, those lines are very light because those are just to give you the directions without really saying this is, you know, this is the final lines that we're drawing. So if, like, say, one of the exercise today, what you need to do is like a square. So what you need to do is that you first draw a line, and you don't know exactly how long it is. You first draw the line out, and then you use your scale bar to measure exactly the distance. So you never use your T-square or your triangles to draw exactly the length of it, but then you use this to do your guideline. All right, so this is your guideline. And then on top of it, like say, we want to draw a square that is, you know, 2 inch long. And then we tick mark here, see? So then you will use the scale bar to tick mark over here. And then okay, so let's, and then we can actually go over it with a stronger line to say, oh, okay, this is the final line that we are going to draw. So if we want to draw a 2 inch square, what we need to do is that first we draw one of the lines, right? And we know where it starts, like on the edge, on the corner, this is where it starts, this is where it ends. And then you put your triangles here. And then you draw this vertical line. But again, when you use the T-squares and triangles, you don't know how long it will last. And then once you put the guidelines here, you measure it again using your T-square, using your scale bar. And this is your 2 inch line, right? And then you use your T-square again to finish this line. Then this is how you draw your square. And let's go over it with a more certain line. Alrighty, is that clear? Thank you.